There you go.
Okay, normally I would definitely. मंचूकडे पावडा नाही हिसाब
And many of those pieces, not all of them, but quite a few. With a lot of you are winning.
Hi.
We're from West Branch.
Oh,
I was gonna have them hold it. You can't go.
hi, Eesha. Say hi, everybody. She looks pretty crazy. Oh, this is so cute.
Yung idea na yun. She say hi. How are you?
Merhaba, masa Eesha Diaries.
Itu.
I always makes fun of me because I never opened my eyes all day.
Oh shit.
Hello, hello. We are at the Navy Pier. It is so happening here. We have a cruise in a while and we are waiting for it. This is a Ferris wheel. Sorry. think Eesha is gonna try this one. Let's see what's her mood. Ishu, do you want to try it? Eesha, horse pine ekkutava? Horse pine ekkutava? Yeah? అది పేరు ట్రైలు పేజ్ దేనికి it's cruise time now. It's in Chicago. We are in Chicago. She's chilling with her phone because she's a little bit cranky now. Hi. What are you watching, Ishu? It's Bluey time. Beautiful downtown over there. we need to cross this path and we have to go there. Eesha is going there. We're waiting for the people to go up so that I can go down. And we are crossing the path. Beautiful marigolds.
Brand new. Brand new.
There are a lot of ships over there.
They're coming and going. Coming and going.
We need to walk a lot to reach our cruise, and we are enjoying the view. This whole thing is parking area.
Yeah, it's water.
It is too sunny over here. I wear a cap. Yeah, over there I can see some speedboats also. And there is one sailing boat over there, if you can see. I don't think you can see, guys. I think we are going on a cruise. I have no idea what we have cooked. We have walked a lot of distance. And there is more to go. So if you can see, the street lamps have numbers 34, 36, 38. The watercolor is so beautiful. It is so deep blue in color. It's so lovely. I think we have reached the end. It's number 42. I have to ask my husband. I don't know what building is this, but it's so good looking at it. It's so old. So these are for parking. Maybe that is also for parking. Okay, I got the call. We have to see whether we have reached the point or not. Okay, we are inquiring the officers. Oh, we came in the wrong direction, maybe. We have to go all over that place.
I already know it's a 10.
It's okay, we had a beautiful view over here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Ishu. You got the flowers? మనం ఏంది తప్పు డైరెక్షన్లో వచ్చినామా?
ఆపోజిట్లో ఉందండి.
Oh, we have to go to the opposite side. But we got a nice view. Zebra crossing. USA అంటే రూల్స్ అంటే USA. Where? Oh, entry ఉంది.
అలా స్ట్రైట్ పోతే అయిపోతుంది. స్ట్రైట్ ఆపోజిట్ పోతే అయిపోతుంది.
Okay guys, now I'll show you the parking. So 29. Hi 29 people. Hello everyone.
ఇక్కడ నంబర్ దీన్ని క్లోజ్ అప్ టైం అయిపోయింది.
దానికి చెప్పు శాండిల్స్ వేయొద్దా? వేర్? చింత చిత్త చిత్త చింత చింత చిత్త చిత్త చింత. Okay. Oh, we have reached the opposite side. And now we have to search for our crew again. Okay, let's see. We'll find our crews or not. Wow. Look at the color, guys. This is so beautiful. We need to rush to the place because we may miss the cruise. So the last cruise will be 6 o'clock and it's 6:04 right now. We already booked the tickets, and if we miss this one, our tickets will go waste. So let's rush. I hope this is the one. I hope so. Let's see where Shai is going. He's inquiring. No, not this one. So they mentioned it as red and yellow boats. No, I can't find any red and yellow boats right now. I hope they're still there. Let's go fast so that we can catch our cruise or boat, whatever. I'm showing them everything. I'm showing them everything. Dog, cutie dog. I'm also rushing. We've already come to this place again. We're coming here. We're going round, round, round. Sangrias. This is a happening bar here. And again, a beautiful water body and downtown over there. I'm going so fast. I don't know whether you guys can see properly or not. So beautiful, guys. So beautiful. I hope we don't miss our boat. There is a Shakespeare theatre. It's written Chicago Shakespeare Theatre. సో ఇక్కడే ఉన్నాయి బోట్స్ మొత్తం అంతా తిరిగి వచ్చినాం. ఈ నేవీ పేరు ఫెరీస్ వీల్ ఆపోజిట్ ఉండే మేము మొత్తం ఒక చుట్టు కొట్టి వచ్చినాం. But it's fine. We have seen many other places over here, which is so funny, but it's okay. Let's see our red and yellow boats. Thorkinai finally. They're cute. Yeah, I think we're gonna go into this one or maybe yellow one. I don't know. Let's see. ఇక్కడే ఉండే ఆ లైన్లో ఉన్నట్టుండి అదే లైన్ అండ్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ హ్యూజ్ లైన్ ఫర్ దిస్ వన్. And let's focus on Eesha. Hi Eesha. మొత్తం తిరిగి వచ్చినాం. ఎక్కడ చూపించమంటే ఇట్లా చూపిస్తామంట. మా బోట్స్ అయితే ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి భయ్యా. మా బోట్స్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి భయ్యా. జల్దీ డిసైడ్ కండి మళ్ళీ ఇది కూడా మిస్ అవుతాం. స్టార్ట్ అయింది అక్కడ. ఇషుదా ఎత్తుకుంటుందా? హాయ్ చెప్పు. హాయ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్. You're going to yellow boat? Not red boat? No. You like yellow one? You like yellow one? Even yellow flowers you like? అన్న కోసం ఇంకా వెయిట్ చేయాలి కదా. 75 minutes ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ టూర్ అంట. మరి 75 minutes guys, my 75 minutes guys. So it's written over here 75 minutes. మేము కూర్చోబోయే బోట్ ఇదే. ఫొటోస్ కూడా తీసుకుంటున్నారు. లెట్స్ సీ. బీచ్ వ్యూ నిజంగానే బాగుంది. And the clicking pictures over here. It's a nice view. వచ్చేస్తుండు మా హస్బెండ్ వచ్చేస్తుండు. ఫైనలీ ఆన్ టైమ్. లెట్స్ గో స్టాండ్ ఇన్ ద లైన్. ఎంత ఎండ ఉంది భయ్యా భయ్యా. బ్యాగ్ తీసుకో బ్యాగ్. Yeah, there are so many gooses. Yeah, that's a goose. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey.
Well, any bars.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. ఏమెండా
అరే వాడు బయటనే పెడుతుంది.
ఆ బ్యాగ్ తీసుకోసారు.
So it's a bit better if you buy in. So when I go whoop whoop, I need to go beautiful. This is the 75-minute architecture tour. 75-minute architecture tour. Are we all on the right boat? Beautiful. There's a speedboat portion of this ride. So if you have any medical conditions, heart, back, neck, sickness, other conditions that would prohibit you from riding the speedboat portion of this ride, If you are in the late stages of pregnancy, this might not be the ride for you. Boats can induce labor. You can give birth to a baby on this boat. You're legally obligated to name it Sea Dog. I don't want that for you. Are we good? There's a possibility to get wet. We are not going to try to get you wet, but dang, I don't control the weather. And there's water there, and there. So there's a possibility for a little bit of spray. So if you absolutely cannot get wet, if your clothes were
You
just
should say hi.
a single drop, spare
You
us.
sure?
And
Here,
choose
here.
the ride. Are we good? Beautiful.
Where are we
We'll be
going?
in just a moment, and I'll hop back on with more announcements. Thank
Okay.
you.
Isha, look. Isha, look here. Ishu, what are you eating?
It was beautiful, but it was a little too hot.
Chips?
We played screw games, so like that's
Oh, Mike, you thought that was our boat.
Hey, where's the slide at?
Once again, welcome aboard the Sea Dog. We'll get to the fun stuff in just a moment, but I have announcements. I know, they never stop. We've got a couple announcements, couple rules
No one else said.
for being on this boat. First off, before we get to the speedboat portion, everybody needs a seatbelt. We all have a seatbelt on. Our first
Do you have
aid team around
seatbelt?
check that, but trust is earned. So
Show
give
me.
that a tug for me, please. Beautiful. You need to be wearing a seatbelt at all times. We're going to the locks first? Oh, never mind, I guess. You don't need to be wearing a seatbelt at all times. They juked me out. They went this way. Usually we go that way if we're going to the locks first. Dang it, Pat! Well, that'll be important later. It is still a little bumpy out here. There it is. And so if you need that extra stability, I do recommend using that seatbelt. I do recommend staying seated. It is a little windy out here today, so make sure that if you have anything that could go flying, hats, sunglasses, small children, just secure those things at this time. Because there are some gusts of wind, and if it can't go flying, it probably will go flying, okay? Rule number 1, nothing goes in the water, not even other water. Anything with you that's going to become trash, that is already trash, we will have a trash can at the end of the ride. Please do keep your stuff with you until then, okay? Lake Michigan is where we get our drinking water. And I don't want to see your Starbucks cup in my bath later. I'll be mighty mad. There's also no smoking on this boat. That includes the use of e-cigarettes and or vapes. No smoking on this boat, because if we see smoke on this boat, we're going to assume it's an engine fire, and then all of you end up in the water. Okay? Okay, this is a United States Coast Guard regulated vessel, and as such, we have enough life jackets for each and every one of you. On this boat, they are located underneath your seats. Please do not pull them out. You won't need them, I promise. Okay? If you did, in case of a water landing, I'm going to show you how to use one of these. You would take this bad boy right here, put it on over your head, take that black strap and strap that around your waist. But please do not be worried, we haven't had to use one of these in almost a week. We're setting records on the sea, dog. For legal purposes. That's a joke. I guess it's time that I tell you my name. Huh? I should probably tell you who this crazy lady is up here yelling at you. My name is Jinx, and today I'm going to be your docent, your narrator, your tour guide, and if you don't laugh at my jokes, your swim instructor. Good practice. You get a life jacket first. Our captain for today is Captain Pat. Say, hey, Captain Pat. Hey, Captain Pat. Captain Pat is super cool. He's actually a retired Calvin Klein model. Yeah. Oh, why'd you look, dude? Why'd you look? Our first mate for today is Sam. Say, hey, Sam. Sam's wearing those super cool sunglasses that he actually got off of our last boat. So I repeat, if you have anything you don't want to see the sea dogs wearing later, maybe tuck it away at this time. We're waiting to get up into the harbor locks here. We have to go through the harbor locks in order to get onto the river. They can take a little bit of time because they don't run on a system, they don't run on a schedule, they run completely off of boat traffic. And as you can see today, it's a beautiful day here in the city of Chicago, so there's quite a bit of traffic. That little stoplight tells us when we can go in. Right now, the stoplight is on yellow. What does yellow mean on a stoplight? Go as fast as you can through it. So that's what we're gonna do today. Know that when we go into the harbor locks, we are going to get nice and snug with a concrete wall. So if you could please keep everything inside of the boat. All head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and arms, and legs, and any other things you wish to take home with you off of the railings and inside of the boat, please. Chins and fingers, too, inside of the boat, please. Thank you. I care about your limbs. Like I said, we have to go through these harbor locks. They act as a bit of like a water elevator of sorts. You see this dark gray strip that's along this concrete wall? That's where we're gonna get all up next to. Your heads, when we pull all the way up, will be at or above that dark gray strip. And as the gates close behind us, all the boats file in, and the gates in front of us open. Your heads will drop about 3-4 feet, and you will be underneath that dark gray strip. Please do not worry, it's not like Tower of Terror. It'll be very gradual, you won't even notice, okay? I say drop and people get very, very concerned. We were on Lake Michigan. And we had to get through the harbor locks in order to get onto the river. There's no other way. Lake Michigan, like I said, where the city gets its drinking water, very big lake. It's the third largest of the Great Lakes and the fifth largest lake in the world. It would take number one in both of those spots if we just combined it with Lake Huron. There's just a tiny little piece of land mass separating those, and we could make one super, ultra, mega awesome lake, biggest lake ever, forever, but we don't. We don't for one reason, and this is the whole reason, is currently the acronym that we use to remember the Great Lakes is HOMES. Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. If we got rid of the M, that's a different acronym. Perhaps when we don't want to teach our kids. And so we keep Michigan around just for funsies. It's like 328 miles long. 118 miles wide. Lake Michigan is 950 feet deep. Though we only sail where it's about 100. So pretty stinking big. We have a lot of lakefront beaches, which is a really unique feature of the city of Chicago. 28 miles of lakefront beaches. Maybe you stop by one today, or maybe you'll stop by one on your trip here later. 24 public beaches here in the city of Chicago. Unique feature because you have the beautiful lakefront, you've got the beautiful sand of the beach, the beautiful water, and then behind you, a very busy street. We have city beaches here that are on main roads. It's a little kooky, but that's how we like it. Is anyone from Chicago? Ah, a couple people in the guy in the white shirt. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike. Round of applause for Mike.
Yeah.
Love Mike. That one guy. Who thinks they're from the farthest away? Does anyone think either out of the country or in the country? Who thinks they're from like the farthest? Where are you guys from? Huh? Canada? Okay, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Anyone from farther than Canada? LA? Is that farther? Guys, here's where I admit to you that I don't really know geography that well. And so you could lie to me right now and I'll believe you. Where are you from? India? I'm gonna reckon that is the farthest. Anybody from farther than India? Do we have any like Alaska or something, or Australia? Anything crazy? Who's from the farthest state? Who's from in the States? We've got LA, well, California. Where are you guys from? Florida? Alright. Where are you from? Texas! Kansas and Texas and Florida and LA. That's the American dream right there. Well, if you aren't from Chicago, if you've never visited here before, something that you may already know about our city is that our river flows backwards. That's not natural. Usually, smaller bodies of water flow into larger bodies of water. So you'll have rivers flowing into lakes flowing into oceans. If there's anything bigger than an ocean, let me know. But that's how that works here in Chicago. A little different. Our river flows backwards, away from Lake Michigan. And like I said, that's not a natural phenomenon. We did that. We are the reason that happened. It happened. It's a long story. It's a really long story. But we got time, so I'm going to tell you. You see, Chicago was never supposed to be the city that it is. It was never supposed to be this huge mecca of a thing. If you've been outside of the city, you've been to the rest of Illinois, you might notice cornfields. Rest of Illinois, cornfields. We live in the Great Plains. It is very plain, right? So Chicago's kind of this odd little urban blip in the middle of all of this agriculture. And it got so big due to two main industries, the meat packing industry and the railway systems. There was one point in U.S. history where if you got meat anywhere in the country, it was probably packaged right here in Chicago. And the railway systems, the transatlantic railway, the first time you could go all the way from the West Coast, all the way to the East Coast. You had to stop somewhere, right? So the Midwest became that middle point. People started setting up shop here, started making shops, moving here, bringing things, more animals, more people means more waste. But you see, we didn't really have a plan for this waste because we never really thought we'd need to. We didn't think that far ahead. And so we didn't have a sewage system or anything like that. So what did we do with all of that waste? Well, of course, we chucked it in the river. And back then, the Chicago River flowed naturally heading out towards Lake Michigan. Or if you remember, is where I just said we get our drinking water. Yeah. You see, the whole dirty water makes people sick thing took us a while to figure out. Took us a long time to figure, like I mean decades to figure that one out. So we're checking all of this waste into the Chicago River. It was heading out towards the lake, contaminating our drinking water. And people were getting sick. People were getting real sick. Cholera was rampant. And people, unfortunately, started to die. So we knew we had to do something about this. But what do we do about this? We decided to take a page out of our European brothers and sisters books and try to build a sewage system. We're going to try to build a sewage system. So we lifted all of the, what are those called? Buildings. We lifted all of the buildings up on shovels. And we took shovels and we dug sewage tunnels underneath the city. They were much smaller back then, I promise. It was much more doable. So we made these sewage tunnels. But the only problem is tunnels gotta end somewhere, right? So where did we choose for those tunnels to end? Right in the middle of Lake Michigan. Yeah. Effectively not solving the problem at all. I told you the whole dirty water makes people sick thing. Yeah, I mean it. It really took us a while to figure that one out. So people were still getting sick. People were still dying. And we knew we had to do something, and we had to do something quick. And so we held a meeting of all of the greatest minds in the city. Said, what do we do about our sewage issue? And one very brave man raised his hand. He said, I know. How about we stop polluting the river? That man was instantly exiled to Florida. It was the worst punishment they could think of. Never to be heard from again. She gave me a thumbs up. Where are you from in Florida?
I should do this part-time.
Oh. Well, is that in Florida? There's two? There's also a Hollywood, Florida? This is blowing my mind. I'm not missing much. My mind is unblown. Goodness gracious. I didn't know that. Isn't there like an Athens, like something like Arizona? What? Georgia. Yeah. Much less exotic than Athens. Well, my point was that guy got sent off. Nobody heard from him again. Sent him away. And they said, does anybody have a better idea? Better being the key word. Someone raised their hand. They said, I have a more complicated idea. See, we didn't want to stop polluting the river because that was our favorite thing to do. And if there's something that you should learn about Chicagoans during your time here, it should be that we are stubborn. Okay? And we don't want to do what we don't want to do. So stop polluting the river is simply not an option. That's our favorite thing. So we came up with a much more complicated solution. You see, we had figured out that if we broke a series of dams, the Chicago River would actually reverse itself into the Des Plaines River, which then leads into the much larger Mississippi River. Only problem, what is the next largest city along the Mississippi? It's St. Louis. Who said it back there? Ah, life jacket for you, Mike. All right. Yeah, St. Louis, Missouri. They caught wind of what we were going to do. Rightfully so. A little mad. A little peeved. A little mad at us. Actually pretty mad at us because what they decided to do was sue us. So the city of St. Louis sued the city of Chicago for trying to send them our dirty sewage water. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court where they ruled that it would be unlawful of us to try and reverse the river. Be unlawful of us. So we said, we're sorry. We're sorry, St. Louis. You're right. That's not fair of us trying to send you our dirty water. We won't do that. We're not going to reverse the river. today. We're gonna do it tonight. So he waited until the cover of nightfall. And the mayor sent some of his cronies with TNT to blow up the last remaining dam, stopping the Chicago River from reversing. And the river was successfully, illegally, and unnaturally reversed. The only problem is well, we do, okay, there's a couple problems, but St. Louis, honestly, they got the last laugh. They did. We like to say that they took all of that sewage water that we sent them, they bottled it up, and they sold it back to us as Bud Light. And that's why it tastes like that. Nasty, gross, icky you stuff.
I'm not gonna lie to say.
But when you do something for the first time, you tend to learn some things, right? You tend to learn some things because no one's ever done it before. So there are consequences. And our neighbors to the north, Canada, they noticed that the shorelines on their beaches were receding. They had a bit more beach than before. And they figured out that we actually were taking too much water out of Lake Michigan. We didn't have a system. Oh, thank goodness. We didn't have a system like these locks in place. It was just free flowing. So too much water was coming out of the lake, causing the shoreline on the Canadian beaches to recede. And so Canada sued us. Do you know how bad you have to be for Canada to sue you? Pretty stinking bad. So Canada sued us, said that, you know, we couldn't do all that. And so part of that settlement was the installation of the Chicago harbor locks. These harbor locks make it so that we can control the amount of water coming out of the lake each and every day. It's a small number. It's only about 2 billion gallons every single day. So we don't hit anywhere near that. Even on higher traffic days like today, if you take a peek behind you, everybody and their mama is in this lock right now. So even on these higher traffic days, we don't hit anywhere near that on holidays, Independence Day, and all that jazz. We stay pretty away from it because if we hit that number, we'd be at war with Canada, and then we wouldn't have maple syrup anymore, and breakfast would be boring. So we try to keep Canada happy. Use these harbor locks. If you see these gates are slowly opening, they'll open fully, a big old buzzer will go off, and then you'll know that we can finally get on to the river. But you guys are here doing one of the touristy things. What other touristy things have we done? Have we eaten everything that we need to eat in the city before we leave? The answer should be no. The answer is always going to be no. I've lived here my whole life. You cannot eat your way through the city. A new thing pops up every single week. Someone on my tour yesterday actually had me Google it. 7,300 restaurants here in the city of Chicago. There's a whole lot of restaurants. But have we hit the things that we need to hit? Have we have deep dish yet? Yes, couple yeses, couple no's. They're gonna tell you to go to Giordano's. They're gonna tell you to go to Lou's. I'm gonna tell you don't do that. Insider tip. Lou's, everyone says it's the best pizza ever. No, it's not. They use a sweet marinara. I don't know about you. I don't want a sugary pizza. I like mine salty. I like mine a little burnt. Go to Pequod's. Pequods. Pequod's. Yeah? You know the tips. You know the tricks. Yeah, Pequod's, they've got a locations like 20 minutes from here. I'm sure you could get there public transit. We do that all the time. Real good. They take cheese and put cheese on the crust and then they burn it. It's a well done sausage pizza. It is the best thing you will ever have in your life. One, they're made to order too. Every single time they're made to order. One is big enough for probably 2 or 3 of you because the slices are like this big and like that deep. It's a delicacy. Go to Pequod's. And if you're looking for a beef, you could do Portillo's. That's a classic. Everybody loves Portillo's. I won't judge you for it. However, if you're looking for something a little smaller scale, a little more mom and pop, when we get back to the dock, the pavilion inside where all those food courts are, if you head right into the pavilion from our dock and go like a restaurant to the right, place called Cicchio's. Cicchio's, really, really good Italian beefs. The owner has been there forever. His name is Mario. He has hearing aids. You will need to yell at him. Okay? He will not hear you. You do need to yell at him. He's a sweet guy and he makes great beefs. So if you're looking for a smaller scale place right here, go to Cicchio's when we're back. Go to Mario, go to Gus. They're our friends. These gates are about to click into place. That buzzer's going to go off. I am going to try to time it so it looks like I set off the buzzer. But I want you to know that I've been here for a long time and it hasn't worked yet. And I'm convinced that there's someone in that booth that has it out for me. So if I miss, no, I didn't. And if I get it, it's going to be epic. Ready? Wait for it. It was close enough! You have to think I'm cool, or else I came into work for no reason. Okay? This has to be fun. For me. I would like to officially welcome you to the Chicago River! This photo, you're only going to get this view one time. This is the one that you want to take. Post it on Facebook for that cousin that you want to know you're doing better than them. This is that photo. Now, take out your phone. Because you all have one. We all have that. You're going to post it. They're going to comment, so cool. Yes, it worked. The first building that I'd like to point out to you on the architecture portion of our tour is that tall, dark, and handsome one right there. That is Lake Point Tower. Lake Point Tower, you might notice, kind of the only tall one over here on this side. And that would be because of the Free and Clear Act of 1903. The Free and Clear Act of 1903 declared that everything east of Lakeshore Drive being that bridge right there, everything east of Lakeshore Drive was to be for the public, low to the ground for the public, providing an unobstructed view of the water. And so this company said that they'd love to do something for the public. They'd love to build a public parking garage. If you peek behind those trees, there's like a gray brick building. That's a public parking garage. City said green light, public, go ahead. And then they waited. A couple of weeks till no one noticed. And they started building on top of the the public parking garage, privatized condos. The city said, what are you doing? We said everything on this land was to be for the public. And they said, well, we didn't put it on the land, silly. We put it in the air, effectively exposing a massive loophole that the city of Chicago had overlooked. Air rights. So the company was actually able to continue building Lake Point Tower. Best believe, though, the city closed up that loophole really quick. And Lake Point Tower remains the only privatized building east of Lakeshore Drive. That is until the mayor and some of his cronies come to the cover of Nightfall. You know how it goes. Over and up to your left, this wavy three-tiered building, here's my favorite. This is the St. Regis Hotel. St. Regis Hotel holds the record for the tallest building designed by a female architect. Woo! Gang! Jeannie Gang, also a Chicago native. So that's cool that she holds that record and in her home city. Jeannie Gang's heavily influenced by modernism. Modernism is the belief that architecture should reflect the natural world around it. So if you look, you see that reflected in the waves of the St. Regis going along with the ripples in the river. She uses 7 different shades of blue and green tiles to represent the different shades that you'd find in the water. And if you crane your neck, take a look all the way up to that 83rd, 84th floor up there, those look a little empty. That would be because they are. Those are what we call blow-through floors. You see, the story goes that during the construction of the St. Regis, they used the wrong type of concrete for its foundation. Now it's not at risk of toppling over, but people do pay a lot of money to live in those upper floors, and you don't want them rock. When high winds come, they pass through the building instead of blowing up against the building, providing just a bit more stability. Up and to your left here, you've got the Swiss Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. The Swiss Hotel. Swiss Hotel, designed by architect Harry Weiss. Harry Weiss got a thing for triangles. Retired sailors, in making his buildings triangles, reminded him of the sails on ships. Which I think, if you squint your eyes, tilt your head, take off your glasses, you can kind of see that too. Harry Weiss also has a different triangle building here in the city, but that one is very exclusive. It's by invite only. It's the Montgomery Federal Prison. So if you're gonna stay at any of Harry Weiss's triangle buildings, we recommend the Swiss Hotel, purely because you can choose your checkout date. Take a look at this green and white boat right here. Take a look at that. Remember what that looks like? It's gonna be there. Okay? Chicago's little lady. Remember what that looks like? We're gonna gossip about it in a little while. My grandma told me it's not nice to gossip in front of people's faces, so we're gonna do it behind their backs. Okay? That clock tower right there, that's the Wrigley Building. The Wrigley Building, Wrigley Chewing Gum Company. Is anybody's favorite chewing gum the Wrigley Chewing Gum? Is anybody's great-grandmother's favorite chewing gum the Wrigley Chewing? Yeah, there it is. It's terrible gum. It's very hard and it loses its flavor in 5 chews. But they made Wrigley Field, so we forgave them. Home of the Chicago Cubs. They wanted their building to be special. They fitted the exterior with tens of thousands of terracotta tiles. Only problem being, terracotta tiles are a little bit fragile. And so now, every couple of months, some guy's got a Spider-Man off the side of that building and wash each and every tile by hand. It's very expensive, very time-consuming, but that's the price you pay for beauty, am I right? Now I'll be transparent with you guys. As a tour guide, there's a lot of things that I have to remember. Lots of names, lots of places, lots of stuff. It can all get very confusing. So if there's anything that really, really helps with that, it's giant 20-foot lettering. This is Trump Tower. Tells you right where you're at. You might know the architect Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith, also the architect of the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Also the second tallest. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Drop it low. Let me see you how you roll. I'm sorry. Second tallest building in the city of Chicago, next only to the Sears Tower. We'll get to see that one a little ways down the river. We're coming up now on these 2 sister towers, the Marina City Towers. These were made in response to people moving outside of the city and into the suburbs. You see, people wanted less hustle and bustle, more leisure activities, so they started getting away from the busyness of the big city. And so they made Marina City Towers with everything they ever thought you would need to stay inside of them. You've got the marina on bottom where you can park your boat. You've got the restaurants in the middle where you can wine and dine. The car garage where you can park your car. Inside of Marina City Towers, there's a bowling alley. What? And a movie theater. What? And it's connected to the House of Blues. What? were designed to look like flower petals falling from the sky. But if you ask any native Chicagoan, we'll tell you they just look like a couple of corn cobs. You should be pleased to find out only 2 cars have ever fallen out of the side of Marina City Towers. Both were on purpose. One was for a 60s movie titled Hunter, and the second was for an Allstate commercial. It was actually a parody of the original scene from the movie Hunter. Hello, friends. This red brick building right here, this is the Reed Murdoch building. The Reed Murdoch building, well, someone told me something once that bothered me about this building, and so now I am contractually obligated to bother you. There's a clock tower here on Reed Murdoch building. We're gonna count the windows on either side. On this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's uneven. That's actually because of the construction of LaSalle Street. When the city was building LaSalle Street, they said, hey, Reed Murdoch, your building is getting in the way of my street. Tear it down. And they did. They actually had to comply with the city to accommodate for the construction of LaSalle Street and tear down an entire column of their building, forever leaving that clock tower off center. This big old beige thing right here up and to your right, this is Merchandise Mart. Merchandise Mart is so big that it has its own train station named after it. Merchandise Mart is so big that until 2009 it had its own zip code. Merchandise Mart is so big. I don't have a third thing, I just wanted you to do the bit with me. We're besties now. Merchandise Mart, kind of the OG of shopping malls. You see, they wanted to encourage people to buy more stuff. And what better way to do that than to eliminate the inconveniences of shopping in a big city? You know, the distance between stores, oftentimes here, the weather. So they took a bunch of shops and put them in one big building. Those Pez dispensers outside are busts of different business tycoons from around the city of Chicago. You've got Marshall Fields, if you've ever shopped at Marshall's. Samuel Insull, we'll get to talk about him a little bit later. They sit with their backs to the river, facing Merchandise Mart, because a shopkeep never takes his eyes off of his store. We're coming up now on Wolf's Point. Wolf's Point is the point where the river splits into 2. That way, boring. We don't go that way. We take you to the fun stuff. Go this way. Okay? That, River Point Tower. River Point Tower looks like a Hot Pocket. If you haven't noticed, we've got a bit of a food motif going on here. We have the Corn Cob Towers, the Hot Pocket building. If you've seen the Bean, we're kind of big foodies here in the Midwest. So much it reflects in our architecture. That arch there, structural as well as functional, and acts as a built-in umbrella when you're trying to escape the intermittent downpouring that we've had this week. Speaking of buildings that nobody calls what they're actually called, this here, the Beaver Building, affectionately named, because it looks like a log that a beaver's been taking a chunk out of for a while. As we come up on it, you'll be able to see your reflection in the side of the Beaver Building. Give yourself a wave. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're gorgeous. Oh, you're so pretty. If you notice anything about the Beaver Building, it's probably that the width of the base of the building is much smaller than the width of the rest of the building. And that's actually for financial reasons. You see, here on the river, you only pay for the amount of ground space that you take up. And so, by making the width of the base so much smaller, they're actually saving millions of dollars on that lot price. This is 100 North Riverside, the Boeing building, Boeing headquarters, Boeing the airplane company. There's nothing too notable about this building, except for the fact that they tell you to be careful upon entry. Because at Boeing, the doors have a tendency to fly off the hinge. It's only funny because no one got hurt. As we come up under this bridge, to your right again, it's very right and heavy. I promise we turn around. I'll talk about that outside. Don't you worry your pretty little head. Okay? This building, 2 North Riverside Plaza. Some people people say looks a bit like the Sphinx of Egypt. That clock tower's a paw. That clock tower's a paw. The back is the roaring head of the Sphinx. And that would be because 2 North Riverside Plaza, constructed around the same time as King Tut's tomb was discovered. I hate Jim Spears. I just hate him. You know?
Hell yeah.
You might see some of these Egyptian style carvings in the columns of the building. It's nothing too special right now, it's office spaces. But it's kind of a kooky little place to have your office. So who here plays Monopoly? Do we play Monopoly? Yeah, show of hands. Good. Who here buys all of the trains as soon as you can? Yes, you do, because you're evil. No, it's a good strategy. I can't fault you. You're just like our boy Sammy Insel. Samuel Insel, that business tycoon I mentioned earlier, at one point owned all of the railways here in the city. He's actually the reason for that exposed loophole of air rights. You see, the way that the law was written said on your piece of land, anything from the depths of Hades below to the high heavens above was yours, which is very poetic and very vague. And so Samuel Insel took advantage of the way that the law was written and began to sell the air rights on top of his trains. Meaning if you wanted to build on one of Samuel Insel's trains, you had to contract through him, not the city, not a private company, making him millions. This now is the metro that leads to Union Station. We're coming up on the Adams Street entrance. You might have utilized this resource. You ventured outside of the city into the suburbs. We're a very trip here in Chicago. I mean, you're on a boat. And now for the gem of our city, the Sears Tower. Take your pictures off first now.
Gotta get my finals out again.
Make sure we're not standing on the seats. You can also be curious because they go behind you. Make sure we're not getting this photo.
The Sears Tower, the tallest building in the city of Chicago.
Tallest building.
It's pretty big. I think the whole building is, it's like, what, 1,400 feet, right on in there. It's pretty big. Those antennas actually don't count towards the height of the building because they're not seen as part of the structure. If they did, they'd add about 1,000 feet to the height of the Sears Tower. Those 5 windows at top of the Sears Tower, those are actual ledges that you can stand on. You can stand on this one. Anyone done the sky deck at the Sears Tower? Wow, lots of us. You guys are very brave. I won't do it. And I won't do it for 2 reasons, which are the same reason. Because on 2 occasions, people have been standing on that glass and it has cracked beneath them. Now there's like 14 layers of glass, so don't worry, nobody got hurt. They needed a change of pants afterwards, but nobody got hurt. When you're standing on that glass, you are looking 1,300 feet down to the city below you. That's too many feet. That's a lot of feet. I don't like that. Sears Tower, you know how you spell that? W-I-L-L-I-S. The Sears Tower. Alright, you caught me. It's actually the Willis Tower. It was bought by the Willis Insurance Group in 2009. But like I stated earlier, Chicagoans are stubborn. And we don't want to call something. Well, we don't want to call something. And so they said, this here is the Willis Tower now. And the whole city went, no. So nobody calls it that. I heard if you call it the Willis Tower in a bar, they will upcharge you. So stay safe, my friends. This building right here, also Samuel Insel's, that train guy. This is the Civic Opera Pavilion. They wanted to be fancy. They wanted to use ancient Roman lettering and And they realized that the last word, there's no U character in ancient Roman lettering. So it is forever Pacific Opera Pavilion. Story goes that Samuel Insull built that for his wife. See, he had a wife, and she was something of a singer, though not a very good one. And so she went to try her shot as a professional opera singer in New York City. They immediately shunned her and said, "No, wait, thugs, back to Chicago." So she came back crying to her husband. And he built her an entire opera house in her home city so that she could continue singing. So if you learned nothing else from my tour, ladies, if you wanted to, he would. You're not asking for much. She got a whole opera house. Go home, start a fight. Okay? He said, don't you start now. Don't you start now. You might have noticed we've gone under quite a bit of bridges here in the city today. 43 of those bridges here in the city, they all open from that center point to allow larger ships to pass on underneath. They open on designated public days. You can open them on non-designated public days, but it's going to cost you $2,000 per bridge. I'm never going to win over this. You can't compete with the CTA. $2,000 times 43 is a lot of dollars. So people usually choose to go on those public days. But you guys got lucky, there's one open back there. And it's been like that for 25 years. Railroads rerouted. They no longer needed that bridge, but it was too expensive to demolish, so they just lifted her up and left her like that since the year 2000. Oh, they are still going. Heck yes, we would. But the more interesting bridge is the bridge behind that bridge. The Kansas Street Bridge, home of the infamous Dave Matthews Band. Does anybody listen to the Dave Matthews Band? Ah, nerd. Okay, so the Dave Matthews Band, they had a tour, they had a stop here in the city of Chicago. And as we established earlier, where there is people, there is waste. And so they needed to empty the septic tank on their tour bus. And for reasons unbeknownst to me, you, or that guy, they decided to do so over that bridge. I don't know why. Bad call. And unfortunately, there was a boat passing underneath at the same time. Do you remember the boat that I told you to remember earlier? The green and white boat. It was that boat. Chicago's little lady passing underneath at the same exact time. If you remember what that boat looks like, 2 levels, top, no roof. So everybody got completely covered. Please don't worry, the company cared a lot. They hosed down the boat and we're sailing again in under an hour. And so aren't you glad you chose the seatbelt? It got really bad though. The Dave Matthews Band, they had to pay millions of dollars in lawsuits and fines, as well as issue a formal public apology to the entire city of Chicago. So please do clean up your duty. It's your duty. We're coming up now on the Chicago Riverwalk. This right here is our favorite part of the Chicago Riverwalk. This is Chicago's very own people exhibit. Look at all the little people. I heard if you wave and they wave back, they get a treat. Oh, look, we got one there. And we got one there. And we got one there. We'll throw you a Skittle on the next tour. That's completely true. Mind your business. The Chicago Riverwalk, made in part by an initiative started by former Mayor Ron Emanuel. You see, this river used to be toxic levels of dirty, and now it's just blue. You could drink a cup of water from the Chicago River. I did only turn my hair pink, so it's probably fine. But the truth is, guys, when you make something personal, people tend to care about it a little bit more. So the goal with the Chicago Riverwalk was to bring people closer to the water so that they would become more invested in the cleanup and the upkeep of the river here. It's a very unique feature to have an entire river running through your downtown. So we want to keep it real nice, real good, and around for as long as we can. So that was the goal with the Chicago Riverwalk. If you take a look up in the distance, that green building with the shiny gold top, that is the Carbon and Carbine building. The Carbon and Carbine building looks perhaps a bit like a champagne bottle. And that would be because it was constructed during the Prohibition era. Prohibition, if you're unfamiliar, is a time in U.S. history where alcohol was completely outlawed. You couldn't make it, you couldn't drink it, you couldn't sell it, nothing. And so they designed the Carbon and Carbine building to protest that. Some people say that the top looks a bit like a finger. Perhaps one that you would find towards the middle of your hand, which lets you know how Chicagoans felt about being told they couldn't drink. At the top of that building, that is real 24-karat gold flakes. At the top of that building, constructed in the 1920s, and those gold flakes have only been needed to be replaced about 7 times since the building's construction. So really durable, quite durable. See in the distance where it says Chicago Tribune? That's the Chicago Tribune Tower. Chicago Tribune is that famous newspaper from the city. Are we familiar? Yes, beautiful. Chicago Tribune, they wanted something special for their brand new headquarters along the riverfront. So they decided, who knows us best but our readers? And so they opened a design contest to the readers of the Chicago Tribune to design their brand new headquarters on the riverfront. 2 brothers won that contest, German architect students. They were heavily influenced by German Gothic architecture, which is why you can see those kind of arched windows, that distinct scaffolding on the building. Those are called fine buttresses. Looks like some gargoyles would go real well on top. It's actually not the headquarters of the Chicago Tribune anymore. They have since moved elsewhere, but their name is still on the building, and it is in fact private living spaces and office spaces, as is everything nowadays. But still a really unique building to have on our riverfront. If you peek all the way at the top up to your left, that peacock logo up there, that is NBC Tower. NBC Tower, that TV channel, or the streaming service Peacock, where you can watch Love Island USA Season 7. Anybody watch Love Island USA Season 7? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I recommend for your mental health, if you aren't watching Love Island, don't do it. Okay? Remain happy, please. Lots of famous shows filmed there in that building. You've got all of the Chicago shows filmed in that building. Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. Judge Mathis filmed in that building. You know this one? I went on those shows. Right here, sweetheart. Right in Tri-City. We're passing up now the Sheraton Hotel. It's named the safest hotel in all of